Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the Five to Live Dynasty Fantasy Football League. Shout out to the commish, Master E, aka Third and 10. Winners of Week 11 are myself, Comeback Chris, Double C Cups, formerly known as Mr. Swift. Uh, a team has no name, and Mean Machine. The biggest blowout of the week was myself versus Pete Top Kevin Bottom by 55.98 points. This is our standings right now. Comeback Chris clinched last week with the dub. Waivers came in on Wednesday, and I didn't do a video because of Thanksgiving and all that bullshit. So this is a in progress review of Week 12 right now. Going into the first matchup, myself versus Zeke Out. This is rivalry week. Rivalry week. Say that 10 times fast. I had Terry McLaurin give me 12.70 points. Antonio Gibson beasting with 34 points. And then on the other side, Zeke Out. Another dud week for Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott giving him 3 points. So let's check our benches. Going forward, I'm gonna start Josh Allen because Josh Allen has the best matchup this week. I believe so because Lamar Jackson has COVID, and I wasn't gonna play him against Pittsburgh. I put Lamar Jackson on my COVID IR slot, and I picked up Jared Goff. I also picked up Nelson Aguilar and James White for the waivers because I think they're going to be good pivot options later on. Picked up LaMichael Pirine on the IR just because. I don't know, just because I was in that picking up feeling. I was thinking about starting Taysom Hill over Denver, but I like Josh Allen against the Chargers. I feel like it's going to be a shootout. Keenan Allen, I don't think Keenan Allen's going to have like massive points like he did last week, but because Austin Eckler coming back for them. But I like Keenan Allen this week. And Allen Robinson, I know that they're going to have Mitchell Trubisky. I think they were both like Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles were banged up. So I was worried. I was a little worried. I was going to have to pivot to like Devontae Parker or something, but Trubisky is back. I'm not worried about Allen Robinson. He's a beast anyways. He's in the offensive game plan anyway, so he's going to get that targets. Dalvin Cook, not worried. Travis Kelce, I don't expect him to score 20 this game, maybe like 9 or 10 this game against Tampa Bay. But, Travis Kelce is the best tight end right now. But on the other side, Zeke Dow has Rob Gronkowski, so I'll talk about that. Devontae Parker versus the New York Jets. I know that Miami was going to go with – I think they said they were going to go with Tua, but then that Tua was a little banged up. So I think they're going to go with Fitz. And I like Fitz Magic better than for Devontae Parker. I like Ryan Fitzpatrick better than Tua because of Tua shares that ball and Fitz Magic likes to give that shit to Parker. So going forward, also I'm starting Cleveland D. I think Cleveland D is going to be nice this week and going forward, and it might win me the league. Excuse me. But pretty much, I don't really have any other pivots. I'm going to see how Travis Fulgham. This is a make or break week for me with Travis Fulgham. The matchup's great, so let's see. Devin Singletary is going to be a make or break week. If he has an okay week, I'm going to keep him. If not, I might drop him. Sanders should be good. I don't really have any other pivots, but except I might have wanted to play Nelson Aguilar, but it is what it is. I'm not going to play him. I'm not going to play him over Allen Robinson. So on the other side, my rival, Zeke Out, Jack, who's in second place, is that battle for that bye week. He already clinched, so he doesn't necessarily need a win, but if he wants that bye week, he needs this win right here. Justin Herbert should put up solid points. I don't know if he's going to put up like big numbers like 38 like he did that one week, but maybe like 24, 23. I need him to do good. I need him to pass the ball to Keenan Allen. So let's go, Herbert. Godwin, I think Godwin should have a good game this week. It's going to be a running offensive game for Tampa Bay. But, Godwin and Antonio Brown should have a solid week. I like that. I think Godwin scores, if not once or twice. Tyreek Hill, of course, he's always playing Tyreek Hill. No one can guard him. Um, and I like this pivot that he went to with Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers has been targeted like a lot. I know the last game he wasn't targeted as much, but he was targeted 3 times, but he caught the ball 3 times. So that's 100. He caught 100% of his balls thrown to him. So that 10 targets, 14 targets, 7 targets, that's what he wants to see. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he wants on this upside game, because they're gonna have to pass the ball this game. You know, Arizona's gonna be airing that shit out. James Robinson, great fucking start, obviously, every week. Rob Gronkowski, I think he's going to have a solid week too, and I think he gets in the end zone. That run game is going to open things up against Kansas City. And Kansas City, they don't have the best defense, and I don't know how they are up against tight ends. Let's see. They're giving up the 13 fewest fantasy points. All right, so they're like middle of the pack. I think Rob Gronkowski gets in the end zone because of that run game, that play action, that Tom Brady connection. Tom Brady never has 2 back-to-back horrible games, so y'all know that. That's a good play right there. His pivots, I know he wanted to play Higgins, but I think Higgins, he's not going to drop him because this is a dynasty league. But if this wasn't a dynasty league, I think he should drop him already, because you got Ryan Finley in there, and that's not a good look. Malcolm Brown, honestly, Malcolm Brown, I think Malcolm Brown, he should just drop. The future does not look good for Marquise Brown. Well, we call him Hollywood, but he's not getting. He's not getting targets. He's not getting like the receptions that you want. The deep balls are not connecting with him, with Lamar. It's a down season for the Ravens, and next season you got to think they're going to go after a receiver. You know what I'm saying? So they already got J.K. Dobbins, the future. They got Mark Andrews right there. Their defense is stout. They're not going to get another quarterback because Lamar's their guy. They're obviously going to go with another receiver. My advice to Zeke out, I would drop him or trade him off season, because that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. Giovanni Bernard. I like Slayton in this game. One of my homies, shout out to Manny, he hit me up like asking who should I play, and I was like, I like Darius Slayton. I like Cole Beasley because he has him over T. Higgins. So I think Slayton should have a good game up against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense is not scary at all. If Daniel Jones don't take all the points, you know, I like Slayton a lot, because Shepard is going to be shadowed, and I forget who the cornerback is, but he's going to be shadowed. I like Hunter Henry this game too, but I don't think he wants to start him over Rob Gronkowski. But if I look over here, he has Mike Williams that's in the game for the Chargers right now. It's that big playability that you're going to depend on from Mike Williams. And even with that big playability, yeah, one game he got you 25 points, but that was back in week 5 in a shootout against the Saints. Every other week besides that, it's a hit or miss. Like, of course, he gets injured a lot because he has to make those catches. But if he can get like a 15 or a 14, 13, 12, that'll be good for Mike Williams. But I think Hunter Henry should have a better game because he's getting targeted a little bit more than Mike Williams, and he's healthier. So, the game plan is to go to Hunter Henry as well. Like I said, with Austin Eckler coming back, those targets are going to go down a little bit for everybody. So he might want to pivot. I'm not telling you to, but he might want to pivot. And Joe Mixon back on the IR. He's not playing Baltimore D because of the COVID things, and it's the revenge of the Rona. So just going forward, this matchup, the rivalry 1 and 2, I like all my matchups better than the majority of his matchups. So yeah, that's that. On to the next one, another rivalry. Kamish Master E, 3rd and 10 versus the defending champ, El Come Tortas, managed by Sergio. On Kamish's side, he has Tom Brady. I know he traded for Tom Brady. I know he wanted a lot from Tom Brady, but what I think he traded Tom Brady for was the playoff weeks, and those playoff weeks look fucking delicious. I do not want to play 3rd and 10 going into that playoffs because Tom Brady's schedule is beautiful, and those weeks he's going to need to win and play good in order for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to, clinch that playoff spot. So not the the weeks I'm looking forward to. So Tom Brady's a good play this week against Kansas City. Devontae Adams, obviously fucking beast. You're not going to not start him. The question right here is Tyler Lockett. It's been up and down for him because, you know, it's that offense. It's that 1 week is DK Metcalf, 1 week it's Tyler Lockett. It's the run game. You know, Chris Carson's coming back. It's going to be a rainy game. I still think they're going to air it out. Like I said, fucking Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson are always going to air that bitch out. They don't give a fuck if it's raining, snowing, or fire. They're gonna always air it out. They're not, you know, it's not whatever. It's the only option for them if they want to win this game. And Philly, it's a butter defense. So, yeah, Lockett should be a good play. I don't know if he's gonna put up the numbers that he thinks he's gonna put up. But it's a Monday night game, prime time, and you know, Lockett always shows up. Deontay Johnson against Baltimore. I don't know if he wants to pivot. He might pivot because that game might not happen. Let's see who he has. He has Julio Jones, questionable. I would go Corey Davis. I like Corey Davis this week against Indianapolis. Yeah, that defense, whatever. But they're going to be focusing mainly on Derrick Henry and Jonnu Smith and A.J. Brown. So Corey Davis looks like he's going to be open for those little out routes, maybe get like 7 targets and break off for a big run. Because of the Rona game right here, Deontay. And this looks like a must win for 3rd and 10. I would definitely pivot because I don't know if they're going to play. Whenever I see some shit like that, those COVID like games where they're moved to Tuesday or whatever, I stay away. I just don't want to deal with that. I don't want that stress in my life. So Mike Davis I think he has to go on Mike Davis because, well, Melvin Gordon is playing against the Saints, which is pretty good run defense. Todd Gurley is out, I believe. Yep, Todd Gurley is out against Las Vegas. Or else I would have said pivot to there. So he cannot play anybody else. Jonathan Taylor got COVID, so he's out. Tough sledding for Kamish right here. Tough sledding right here. And but one of the good things, he has Raheem Mostert coming back. A lot of people don't like that when they get a player coming back, they don't want to start him right away because, you know, the chance of re-injury. But Raheem Mostert is one of those players, dog. Like, if you put him on the field, this fool's obviously faster than everybody. He's obviously the best running back on the field if you're not playing against one of the better running backs. And, you know, he has no other pivot. So, yeah, Raheem Mostert is going to be a must start for him. And it's a divisional game. So, I think if he gets in the end zone, he's all right. 8-9 points, he should be all right. Kyle Rudolph, you know, this is the league right now. Everybody knows tight ends are very, very scarce. If you don't have Kelsey, if you don't have Waller, and like Gronk or Mark Andrews, that's it. Like, basically, you're just fishing. So Kyle Rudolph, he's probably just banking off of a touchdown, maybe those long 3rd and 15 first down receptions from Rudolph. I've seen those. That's what he's banking on. I wouldn't shoot for anything above 10. So Christian Kirk should be tight. I like Christian Kirk's play. I would put Christian Kirk definitely in instead of Deontay Johnson. Maybe hit the waiver wire or something because Stephon Gilmore is obviously going to get on DeAndre Hopkins. Going to be a fucking matchup. I want to see that matchup. It's going to be a badass matchup. So Christian Kirk should be able to see and Larry Fitzgerald is out. So Christian Kirk is going to be a solid play right here. Yeah, and that's pretty much all he has right now because of injuries and you know, it's the tough sledding week. It's a must-win week. There's one thing I want to talk to you guys about maybe after the video. I'm trying to get this shit done before the game starts at 10. I don't think anybody's going to be listening to this, but unless you're a crackhead and you've been up. On the other side, the champ, El Come Tortas, he has Cam Newton against Arizona. Cam Newton should always be fine every week. I mean, excuse me, unless you're playing against, like, you know, this dud game, this 2-point game, whatever, just throw it out the window. But his floor is like 15, 13, so should be solid, especially because they're going to be airing it out this game. If they want to stay in the game, Arizona is obviously going to get on top early. But I like Cam Newton. Every time he's in the 20, he's always trying to run it in. He's always going to be a touchdown-dependent quarterback, but still has that upside because he's Cam Newton, you know what I'm saying? So should be all right. Mike Evans should have a good game. I don't know if he gets in the end zone. I don't think he's going to have like a solid big game like he did against the Rams, you know what I'm saying? Every week you see his floor is about 13, 12, 11, which is all right, but it's not what you paid for him because Mike Evans is supposed to be like a top receiver, you know, but with that comes a big responsibility too. You're getting locked down by the, you know, like by the top cornerback. So tough sledding right here for CeeDee Lamb. I know he was banking on the CeeDee Lamb like big game, but he wasn't. He didn't have a good game. He had 5 receptions for 21 yards, just small. You know, it's a small package for him and CeeDee Lamb. Next year should be good for CeeDee. This season, not so good. Sterling Shepard, I like Sterling Shepard against Cincinnati. Should be all right. Josh Jacobs, obviously he's a must start. Wayne Gallman has been his fucking pickup of the season. Wayne Gallman, I said it from the beginning. I was like, you know, if he's in, what's his name is out. The fuck's his name? I'm going brain dead, but I would play Wayne Gallman every week if I could. He plays with balls. There's running backs who like they just play and they're trying to get the next yard. He's trying to get that first down. He's trying to get that touchdown, those extra yards. You seen that last year, and like look at these points since he started: 13, 12, 14, 18. Those are the solid numbers you want to see. And he had his bye, and he has Cincinnati coming up. Oh, you know that is what I like. If I'm New York, I am not going Devontae Freeman. I'm staying away from Devontae Freeman. I'm going Wayne Gallman, fucking Bruce Wayne Gallman, and I'm just running it with him, giving him the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Evan Ingram, obviously, he has to start him. Chris Carson was banged up, but I think in this game he's going to be all right because of the defense, and it's going to be a little. They're not going to pass. They're going to be a pass-heavy team. Obviously, like I said, Seattle, but Chris Carson is in if he's healthy. That fool's a beast. A couple pivots. Maybe he might want to go Renfro instead of maybe like, you know, Shepard, but that's it. That's about it. I like that blanket that he has for Devontae Booker, for what's his name? Christian McCaffrey is out. Drew Brees in IR. This might be the matchup of the week. But right now, it's going to be a close game. If Deontay Johnson plays, I like 3rd and 10. If Deontay Johnson doesn't play, I like El Come Tortas this game. So just as it is, I like 3rd and 10 right now. Sorry, champ. Don't bite my head off. Next matchup, Double C Cups managed by Sauer and Comeback Chris managed by Chris. On Double C Cup side, obviously Double C Cup because you have Cooper Cup. Aaron Rodgers must start. AJ Brown must start. Cooper Cup gonna be nice. Curtis Samuel, I like this pickup by him because I remember earlier in the season. God damn, sorry. Earlier in the season, I said you might want to pick him up just because they're using him in the run game a little bit. McCaffrey's out. You know, Mike Davis. You know, he's not gonna get all the targets, all the attempts. So Curtis Samuel has been good for him, and I think against Minnesota, I think he should be all right. I think he should be good. He's gonna get targets. He's gonna get rush attempts. And those are the type of points you need, you know, as a wide receiver 3, which he is right now for Sauer. Aaron Jones must start. I like to start against David Montgomery. I mean, against Green Bay for David Montgomery. I know he shouldn't expect too much, but, you know, let's see if he has a pivot. I think he should start Gus Edwards if they play. I like that he's sitting him right now because that's a no-no. But if he plays, I like Gus Edwards this week. He should be all right. DeAndre Swift was obviously out. Kalen Ballage is questionable, and Austin Eckler's coming back, so I think you could throw that away. Levante Murray, you know, he's Levante Murray. He's not going to get you those big points. And Rex Burkhead is obviously out with the IR. So He has no other pivot options because it's whatever. I like David Montgomery. Waller must start. He has Jerry Jeudy. Maybe he might want to go another way because they don't got a quarterback. They're gonna have a backup running back and Royce Freeman, which is what I wanted to talk to you guys about after. Uh, I would go Hardman. I would go Gesicki. I would go Murray at that flex. I would not play Jerry Jeudy right now. He's gonna have a great future, obviously, but this year it doesn't look too good, even with Drew Lock there, and all three of their quarterbacks are going to be out. So I would pivot away. But he has other options right here with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, which is his kicker and his defense. Like I said, man, that game is up in the air, and this is the gamble you take in fantasy football. This is the gamble you're going to have to take if you want to start him. And I said, if he's going to do that, if you're going to do that, I would just throw Gus Edwards in the flex. If you're going to start Pittsburgh's kicker and Pittsburgh's defense, I would just throw in Gus Edwards because you already need them to play. So if they're not going to play, it's not going to hurt you because you're already losing those points with the kicker and the defense. But if they're going to play, then you already have you have them there. So I would take out Jerry Jeudy and put Gus Edwards because you're already doing that. You're already putting in Pittsburgh, and that's a toss-up game right there. Why not, dog? Why not just go balls in? You know, don't go one ball in, put both balls in. On the other side, Deshaun Watson with a fucking monster game against Detroit. I didn't know he was gonna have this big of a game, but they've been letting him get loose right there in Houston, so that's a great play, and it obviously gave comeback Chris that cushion, you know, because it was gonna be a pivot. What the fuck? I'm going brain dead. But Double C Cup looked like he was gonna win this matchup, but now it seems very close. Marvin Jones Jr. Obviously didn't get those points that he wanted. Robbie Anderson, I think Robbie Anderson should have a bounce back game. Should be all right. Curtis Claypool. Obviously, like I said, Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, toss-up game. But if they play, might as well play him. Alvin Kamara should be a fucking smash play against Denver this afternoon. Leonard Fournette, I think he should pivot away from Leonard Fournette. If he has somebody, maybe like a Philip Lindsay versus New Orleans. Yeah, like I said, New Orleans has good run D. But Fournette, he's very touchdown dependent, and he needs him to fall in the end zone like he did last week. Let's check those points. Yeah, with the touchdown last week, he had 9 points. His biggest game was back in week 2 with 2 touchdowns. And besides that was back in week 7 with 12 points. He should pivot. I don't know why he likes him. He likes him a lot, but he should pivot that. Dallas Goedert, I mean, I would start Noah Fant just because of the receiving options. Like if whoever's the quarterback for Denver, Noah Fant's gonna be there in those little hitches, the slants, those little out routes. Noah Fant should have a good game, and tight ends are not New Orleans specialties, so that should be the pivot I would go to. But he likes Goddard this game on Monday night, so I mean I would pivot. Deebo Samuel, if he's in, you're playing Deebo. Other pivots, I mean, he has Brandon Ayuk out with COVID, J.K. Dobbins out, Mark Ingram out, John Brand out, and it's a pivot right here. I would like Cole Beasley. If I can get Cole Beasley into play somehow, I would pivot to Cole Beasley. That Marvin Jones Jr. did not do any help for him. If I could pivot to Cole Beasley, that's a solid play right there. But going forward, who I think wins this matchup with the 33 points by Deshaun Watson, that gave comeback Chris a cushion, a slight cushion. If David Montgomery gets in the end zone, I think Double C Cups get this dub. So I'm gonna have to go with Double C Cup this game because these matchups are nice as fuck right here. Especially these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matchups right here are nice. Waller's a better tight end than Goddard. If he can pivot from Jeudy and go to Gus Edwards, fuck it. Why not? Because, why not? And if that game doesn't play, then, he's missing out points too. So it is what it is. But I like double C cup this one, but anything could happen. All right, another matchup of the week candidate, Mean Machine managed by Michael versus a team has no name managed by Ray Ray. Mike has solid players who didn't show out for him at the right times. He has these players that are hopeful for the future that could still do good this season. He still has a chance to make the playoffs. He needs this dub right here. Derek Carr should be a good play. I like Derek Carr this game against against Atlanta. Does he have another pivot? Because I know he had Joe Burrows, and Joe Burrows is out for the season. And he has Matt Ryan going up against Las Vegas. If Julio's playing, you play Matt Ryan. If he's not playing, you don't. So, but he told me, I talked to him, who do you like playing? What are you going to do? Who are you picking up? He picked up Derek Carr. So that's his guy. He's locked and loaded with him. He's going to stay. Michael Thomas with Taysom. Taysom Hill obviously liked Michael Thomas. He put up the most points he has all season, even with Drew Brees in. So Michael Thomas, great fucking play. Great play. Robert Woods should be a nice play too against San Francisco. San Francisco's D is banged up, and I know that. Let's see if he has another pivot option. Yeah, that Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown. I don't know why he's scared to play Antonio Brown. Like, why not? Like, look at that, 10-9. Antonio Brown is being targeted by Tom Brady. If there's ever a game for this motherfucker to have a breakout, like a welcome back to the NFL game, it's this one right here. It's this one. I thought it was going to be against the Saints game, but it's this one right here, definitely. So I might pivot, Sanders or Woods, or who does he have at flex? That flex, he has Brandon Cooks. That's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen. Another trick. Do not put someone who plays in a Thursday night or early Sunday game in the flex, because now his flex is locked. Yeah, 11 points was good, but now he can't even pivot. He cannot pivot to nobody else. He has to play the slots now. He can't put, let's say if he wanted to put a tight end, he cannot put a tight end. He can't put a running back. He can't put a wide receiver now. He has to put him in the slot now. That's one of the rules that I like to follow too. It's not really a rule for me, but it's one of those methods that you could use to your advantage. So now he can't even pivot like that. He has to pivot to the same position. And I would put Antonio Brown in for Woods or Pittman. Probably Pittman, even though I like Pittman. But this game against Tennessee looks like it's going to be game plan. And yeah, two nice games back to back. But Tennessee defense, it's not the best defense, but I think it's going to be more of a run heavy game because, both teams are that is their offense first. You get those run going, and then you should be all right. But I like Michael Pittman a lot, but I think I just like Antonio Brown a little bit better this game. But it is what it is. Miles Sanders, obviously he's playing him. Welcome back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously he's playing him. Welcome back. James Conner had the COVID-19. Adam Thielen, COVID-19. Myles Gaskin on IR. Jordan Reed, questionable. So he doesn't really have too many pivots right here. Robert Tonyan. Should be a good play right here. I like Tonyan. He's not going to get you that fucking 34 points that he did earlier, or how many was it? 40, 30, whatever. But yeah, his ceiling is fucking high, but his floor is very, very low. So he should get like 9, 10 to 15 points. So it's a good play. It's a good play. He has no other option. So, and on the other side, the team has no name. Hold on, excuse me, my bad. Had to drink my coffee. A team has no name. Kyler Murray, obviously a great play, probably the best fantasy player right now. Ranked number 1. That's not an option. I'm not even going to talk about it. Justin Jefferson should be a smash play because Adam Thielen is out with COVID. Should be a good game for Jefferson. Stephon Diggs should be a good game for Stephon. DJ Moore should be on all right. Does he have another pivot? Nope, he doesn't. He does not have a pivot that I like other. So, I mean, it's a solid play. DJ Moore is a solid play. Derrick Henry, solid play. Kenyon Drake, does he have another pivot for the running back? Maybe Harris, maybe Henderson, but Ray is a Kenyon Drake believer, so I don't think he will pivot. Even if I said he probably should, I wouldn't either. Not in this game. Maybe with Harris in the same matchup, but I wouldn't pivot. Austin Hooper, he can't. Oh, what the fuck just happened? Let me see. What just happened? Play. Resume share. Oh, there we go. My bad. Something just happened. Austin Hooper, he doesn't have another pivot. Hayden Hurst, I would have played Hayden Hurst against Las Vegas, but obviously he's banged up. And Hooper's been all right. Hooper's been, I think, targeting that Jacksonville defense isn't scary at all. Like, these numbers don't tell the story for Hooper. I think they're there already. They're there, like 7, 10, 6, 5 targets. Like, those are the type of targets you want to see, especially coming from Baker Mayfield. But if Hayden Hurst becomes like healthy, I would definitely play Hayden Hurst. Nyheim Hines is going to be a fucking good play because Jonathan Taylor is out, and I think Jordan Wilkins doesn't have the same breakout, like the same, like, how do you say it, big play ability than that Jonathan Taylor has. So I think Nyheim Hines is going to be a fucking beast this game. It's going to be one of those games where it's like, all right, but it's a scary feeling because with anything like that, you always think, oh, like, this player is going to have a beast game today because so-and-so is out. And then he ends up throwing a dud, getting you 3 points. So it could very well be that. It could very well be like 6, 5 points, or it could be like 19, 26, 30 points. So but in this late in the fucking season, you need this dub. This is what you got to do. You're going for it. Why not? Like, why the fuck not? Indianapolis D, obviously, you're playing that. Is anybody else he wants to pivot to? No. So just based off all the matchups, I'm gonna have to go with the team has no name. Sorry, Mean Machine. I think you might take this out. I think you might miss playoffs again this year, because this is a must win. I know this is your rivalry week, sort of speak, but I like these matchups. These matchups, that fucking Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry, Moore, and Kenyon Drake matchups. Nyheim Hines is just too beautiful to pass up on. And a team has no name. I'll take that. On to the last matchup of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Pete Top, Kevin Bottom must win, especially if Mean Machine loses. It's going to be a battle for that playoff 6 spot. Those are the type of battles I like to see. Jobless, obviously not making playoffs, but he could fuck up somebody's dreams. But it don't look like it. It don't look like it because Pete Top, Kevin Bottom has Patrick Mahomes, obviously playing him. DeAndre Hopkins, he's not getting those big points. He's not going to get like those fucking 30, 25-point games because Stephon Gilmore is on him. But he should get him a solid 8, 9, 10. But you're playing him no matter what, so we're not going to talk about that. Will Fuller. I want to talk about Will Fuller. This motherfucker, I had zero faith in him. I had zero faith in him last season, the season before that, and this season coming up. I had zero faith in him. But he has been a wide receiver 1 this whole season. Shout out to Pete Top, Kevin Bottom for having him. I wish I had him. I tried to trade for him. I couldn't. Had the fucking biggest game last week. I don't think he's going to have that big of a game this week coming up. But, he got him 32 points, and that's all he needed. That's all he needed to get him in. Calvin Ridley, I like Calvin Ridley, especially if Julio Jones is out. Calvin Ridley was looking like one of those early wide receiver 1s that could win you a season, but fell off. He obviously has no pivot option. Amari Cooper would have been a nice play, but you're not starting, especially in a must-win. You're not starting Amari Cooper like that when you have Calvin Ridley, D-Hop, and Will Fuller. Nick Chubb should have a great game. Duke Johnson had a solid game, 15 points. I would fuck with that. Good shit. Or was that David Johnson? No, I think it was Duke Johnson because David Johnson's out. Jonnu Smith, does he have another pivot? I don't think he has another pivot. Maybe Higbee, but he's banged up. Nah, Jonnu has that big playability. Kareem Hunt, like I said, this is one of those rare occasions where you can play the starting and backup running back on your same squad and you still feel comfortable about it. Kareem Hunt is a beast. I tried to trade for him back. Maybe I'll go Rojo. Maybe I'll go Rojo because it's going to be a running script for Tampa Bay against Kansas City. But the big one. Why didn't I fucking think of this? He has fucking Austin Eckler coming back. I think he's gonna wait on it, but like with the Raheem Mostert thing, you know, if a player with that type of caliber, he's the best player on the field type of caliber, you got to start him. But seeing that this is a must-win, and he does have pivots, unlike 3rd and 10 commish, or he doesn't have the pivot where he could pivot away from, Kareem Hunt is a nice play over Eckler, because I know he's scared of that. You know, what if he gets injured early, or, you know, what if he gets injured late? You know, that type of shit. He don't want to deal with it. Veteran move, must win. On the other side, jobless. He has Russell Wilson. Of course, he's starting him. DK Metcalf. Of course, he's starting him. James Crowder, welcome back from injury. Of course, you're starting him. Juju Smith, you're starting him if he's playing and if they're playing, and why not? You have nothing to lose right here. I would go Ruggs. I would go Henry Ruggs. And that's about it. Mark Andrews is out. Chase Edmonds, you're starting him. Josh Williams, he has no – maybe Joshua Kelly. Maybe Joshua Kelly. But yeah, he has no other pivot. And this is a tough season, Jamal Williams. Tough season for jobless, man. But I have his pick. I have his number 1 pick, so I get the number 1 pick next season. Thank you. Jimmy Graham, good play. Keenan Cole Sr. should be all right. I mean, he has no other pivots. These are the things like you got to do, man. You have 3 empty slots right here. You could have just made a couple of trades, could have made big trades that could help you out. If you're tanking, then tank all the way, man. Tank all the way. Don't tank like this. This is not a good tank. This is not a good season. These are not good moves to make. You're starting 2 backup running backs, backup receiver. I mean, it is what it is. This matchup, of course, I like P-Top, Kevin Bottom in the must-win, which makes for a great story next week. One of the things I wanted to say, too, was that if anybody needs a running back, which I know a couple of people do, I've seen a couple of people, they need a running back. Royce Freeman, the 3rd-string running back for the Denver Broncos, he might play quarterback. And you're thinking like, oh, well, it's against the Saints defense, and how good of a quarterback can he be? Although a quarterback gets the ball in his hands all the time, way more than anybody. Y'all know that. Y'all know this. A low-end quarterback points are like what? 10, 12, 13? Those are flex points right there. Those are fucking those are wide receiver 3, running back 3 points that you could use. If you need a must win and you're feeling saucy, you're feeling like fuck it, like thug life, let's do it. I would. If I needed a running back, I would do that shit. People did that shit with Taysom Hill last week. It's like a little fantasy cheat code, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's something you could do, some things you could pivot to. People, you know, if you need that win, that's all I'm saying. Shout out to Me Machine, won 5 regular season head-to-head matchups in the league. These medals just pop up like randomly, so when I give props, I give props. So the must-wins, all right here. Must-wins is Mean Machine, If Comen Tortas, P-Top, Kevin Bottom. All must-wins right here. This is going to be the race to 6. The race to the clinch is 3rd and 10. The team has no name. They'll probably clinch even if they win or lose. Double C Cups and jobless, next season, there's always next season. If you were going to tank. If you're not, go out with a bang like Double C Cup. And then Zeked out and myself, we're going to be duking it out for that bye week for that hammock in the sky. All right, peace out.